Hi, my name is Weston, and welcome to The Swell. The Swell is McGraw's news outlet where we discuss different topics regarding to HubSpot, newsletters, blogs, and other business-related tips. You can actually check it out on our website. But on today's episode of The Swell, we're going to be talking about our HubSpot tip on how to create a meetings link. So we're going to go and dive right in. Right now, you can see the navigation to find your meetings link is going to be under the Sales tab, and you'll find it on the fifth row down on Meetings. Once you get to Meetings, you'll select the owner of who you're trying to create the meetings link for. And today we're going to be doing mine, so I'm going to start fresh for you. Once you hit edit, you'll see that this is pretty much like the template screen that HubSpot has for you. The first thing we're going to do is make sure that we're creating the internal name. That way that you can recognize and anyone in your organization can recognize the purpose of your meetings link. So for today, I'm going to put mine as the Swell. So this will be the example for us, but we also know that if anybody ever wants to communicate with us regarding the Swell, this is where they would do it. So internal name is going to be Swell, and that's what you'll see once you log into HubSpot, that the public does not see that title. After that, we're going to go to the event title, and this is where you will definitely see, this will share with the public and people will be able to recognize the name of the calendar by this title. So I'm also going to name it the Swell. So depending on where your location is, what your company or your personal preference for your meetings link would be, is where you would do this. So for example, our preference is Zoom. And that way, every time that we create every time somebody clicks on the account, they'll select a time and then they'll automatically get sent a Zoom link from the preferred time once they selected it. However, there's so many other options that you can explore, and you can find that by going here to manage extensions. And that's actually going to take you to the app marketplace. And the app marketplace, like you all know, is essentially all of the integrations that HubSpot currently has and that you can take advantage of. So for example, if for some reason that you guys use Calendly, which is a really popular option, we can always add that in by going here. And once you select and install the app and log into your own personal account, that will be set up. So when you're in the meetings link, and I would recommend you doing that before you're hopping in and creating your meetings link so that the integration is already set up. And if that is your meetings preference location, then you would see a drop-down menu here that says Calendly. So for us, my integration is Zoom. There is also another option if you wanted to do anything like Gmail calendars or any of the other calendar options. That is going to be found again on the HubSpot marketplace. After that, this is a new feature that I really think is very useful when you're using your meetings link, and it's the cancel and reschedule option. I definitely think that is a great option to include in your meetings, because you never know what could happen, and it also helps automate the communication between you and your customer or your prospect or your peers. Because if somebody for some reason can't make it, instead of having to reach out to you and saying, hey, I can't make it, unfortunately, let's reschedule, and then there's a whole extra line of communication regarding this rescheduling, where you can just hit the reschedule link and call it a day, and then you'll get notified, they'll get notified, they'll get a new meetings link, and it'll be updated on your own personal calendar if that's connected to your HubSpot. So always want to recommend hitting the save button. As you always know, you could lose your information if you don't. And then moving over to the scheduling section, I think that this is really interesting new feature as well, which is the collect payments option. If you are already a user of HubSpot payment links, so you have to have that integration set up already internally through HubSpot, and you collect payments through HubSpot, this is an option for you. So if you already collect payments in HubSpot, I really recommend you adding this in there if that's a feature that your customers or prospects or peers need to purchase a certain item or time with you before actually booking. And then it can also serve as a qualification in meeting with you if that is what you're looking for. So on the scheduling title right here, this is what pretty much the visualization of what your customers will see on their own screen. So I highly recommend you changing that to whatever you think is most appropriate for the meeting link or the meeting purpose. So for this example, we're going to call it the Swell. In your duration options, you're going to want to make sure that you're using the correct amount of time based on how often and how little that you want somebody to be able to book with you. So if this is a pre-screening link, you may want to do 15 minutes. If this is more than that, this is a qualification link, then you may need an hour. So on this example, I'm going to do a 15-minute link just so that you can kind of see the different options here, and you can see in your calendar every 15 minutes that is available. Now, if your entire HubSpot is connected to your calendar, then that means that no matter what is on your calendar and whatever is blocked off on your own calendar personally, it will also be blocked off here. Now, if you want to create an availability window for yourself, this is the place to do it. So making sure that it is in your accommodating of hours for your business, and that you never want to have an option where a customer or a prospect is going to click on an option that you are not available. So I definitely recommend making sure your calendar is connected through your HubSpot prior to setting up this link. And I also recommend really taking a look at your availability window and giving yourself some time if need be. For example, if you want to make yourself available between 9 and 12 and then 2 and 5, that way you can make sure you have some time for lunch or any sort of meetings that you have internally, definitely keeping that in mind. When you hit the additional settings, this is going to go into more of the personalization options for your meetings link. So if we're here in the image, right, you can see that the image right now is the organizer avatar. I have already uploaded my image into HubSpot, so this automatically pops up for me. But if, for example, this is for the company, I want to create a custom image, and you can also do a company avatar this way. You just need to set that up through your HubSpot internally in your general settings. And then your custom option, your custom image here, all you would do is pretty much select the option here and change your photo to whatever you prefer. And what I do recommend is leaving this not as your logo, but as your as a smaller version. It's going to only be a really little amount of an option here. So for example, I can't put the entire McGraw logo because it's too large. So what we're going to do is scroll down to our smaller customized logo. That way it can fit in the entire circle and it's not going, the edges won't bleed over. So that's pretty much how you create your custom image. And then this is really important as well, because when you want to create a time period that people can select, you want to make sure that it's not too far out because you don't know your calendar by that point, and but you still give your customers or your peers an option to select within a good amount of time based on their own calendars. So you can definitely select the amount, and the longest that you can actually schedule out is 11 weeks. So you have within this week and 11 weeks for your customers to be able to book with you. So if you want 11 weeks out, just keeping in mind customers can book 1, 2, 3, 4 months out, and that definitely could be an issue if you don't know your schedule at that time. If it's open availability, wonderful. Keep it open to 11 weeks so your customers have some flexibility. This is also a really important piece of information here too, where it's the minimum notice time. This, I always recommend going about 30 minutes to an hour, because you want to make sure that your customers and your peers have an adequate amount of time to prepare for this meeting. If they are not in the office, maybe they have enough time to run home or get to a location that they can accurately take the meeting and not feel like stressed. If you get a 15-minute notification, they may not be in a place to do that. However, if it is a 15-minute notification or they're too busy, that's always why you have your rescheduling link option available. So if they need to, they can. And then the rest of this time pretty much gives you some leeway and some room in between the meeting start times, so you have some space in between each, and it's not going to be back to back to back, because you want to make sure that your time is available to you, and that you have time to be flexible in between meetings. The next thing that's really important also is the booking page language. So essentially, this this link right here, this option is going to give pretty much you the option as if your customer is visiting your website from a different country, for example, and their country of language and their IP address recognizes it as Spanish, then it will automatically transfer the information and translate the information into the user's language setting that is set on their computer or their time zone based on where their IP address is located. So I really recommend using this because you never know who's going to be reaching out to you. If it is a fairly local business and you know that English is the preferred setting and English only, then you can also add that as well by typing in United States of America. However, I do recommend using use visitors browser settings so that it is customized to every option, and you always want to leave that option available for anyone who is using a different language. Date and time format, this is the same concept where no matter where the user is using from, it will always default into the time zone that they're in based on their IP address. So it will always accommodate based on their location, but if they set a meeting in Pacific time, you will get the meeting notification in Eastern time, as long as it fits within your time frame. So you can hit save there because you want to make sure that you are setting that as well. And then your confirmation page is just what they see once they've submitted. So they've gone through, they've submitted the information that you require, and then the confirmation page, this is the default option that HubSpot pre-populates, or you can redirect them to another page, for example, maybe your website, and they want to redirect them back into your website so that they can take a bit more information about what you're looking for. And here, that collect payments option again. So if you need to collect payment post booking, then that is where you can do that as well. So this is just essentially another setting to make sure that you have pre-meeting reminders. I definitely want to make sure that it's an hour before. And after that, you can include the description as well. So making sure that you write pretty much in this section an overview. Welcome to the Swell. We are excited to meet. So this is just so that they know in their calendars what is going on based on what this meeting is about, and making sure you're saving that setting as well. So there's a lot that you can do with your meetings link. This is a really great option, and if you're really trying to focus on your tech stack management, trying to bring everything in-house to HubSpot, this is a great option and a great tool for you to use. If you're using Calendly because of the option to set your meetings out 11 weeks further, then that is a great option, and the integration is also native, so there's a ton of things that you can do. Please feel free to reach out to us at any point. We are here to help. McGraw is a Gold Solutions partner, so we definitely are here to provide any support that you need. Our team of experts are really equipped to be able to handle all of your HubSpot needs. So please feel free to reach out, and have a great rest of your day.